So let's move on to the running back position. Sean, give us your top five.
Yeah, so I got Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Travis Etienne, Kenneth Walker, and Alvin Kamara in my top five. But with Kamara, he's a little bit dicey, but he does make it inside my top five.
Just barely sneaking into that top five this week, Alvin Kamara. All right, Sean, which running backs are you especially high on this week?
So I am super high on Tyler Algier right now. He's my RB13, and the consensus has him RB21. But this is a game where Tampa Bay will absolutely be resting their starters. The Falcons are 6.5-point home favorites, so that just goes to show that the market's anticipating the Buccaneers to rest most of their starters. And Algier is 100 yards shy of 1,000 rushing yards on the season. So this is a situation where I could see him and the Falcons sort of go out of their way to get him there in his rookie season. And certainly the game script and matchup should allow for that. So I would look out for his player props as well. They could be in the low 70s, but this is a situation where I think they will want to get him to 100 yards. So he has a ton of upside here. Love him in this spot. And the other running back I love is Kenneth Walker. He's my RB4. The consensus is RB7, but this is a must-win game for Seattle. They're 6.5-point home favorites. Walker's 64 yards shy of 1,000. I don't think they're going to have to do much to get him there, but based on the situation, based on the matchup, he should absolutely get there. And it's nice to have that sort of extra incentive to boot. Plus, with Travis Homer out last week, Walker actually led the backfield in routes run. So if Homer's out again this week, that's just going to give Walker even more upside based on his potential receiving usage. So he is, a smash top 5 play this week for me.
There you go. I like it. What about the flip side here? Which running backs are you maybe lower on than the consensus?
Yeah, so he's my boy, but I'm low on Nick Chubb here. He's my RB15. The consensus still has him as RB6. And, the Browns really have nothing to play here but to be a spoiler against their division rival, the Steelers. I don't think it makes sense to give Chubb a full workload here. Again, there's nothing to play for. They should be looking ahead to next season, keep Chubb healthy. Plus, the Steelers should have plenty of success running the ball here. I think they're going to have a very run-heavy game plan. And they've allowed the 4th fewest plays per game. So it's a situation where the overall play volume for the Browns could be pretty low here. So I view Chubb as more of a, RB2 option in a game that's meaningless for the Browns, as opposed to a mid-range RB1. And the other back I'm low on is Ramondre Stevenson. He's my RB18 to begin the week. And he's, seeing a ton of usage with Damian Harris out for 4 games. But Damian Harris returned last week, and he ate into Stevenson's workload a lot more than I thought he would. He actually out-carried Stevenson 9-8. But more importantly, Harris ran a route on 36% of Mac Jones dropbacks compared to Stevenson only had a 50% routes run rate. That's actually his lowest rate since week 1. So in what should be a trailing game script against the Bills, it's definitely concerning that Harris is eating into his receiving usage that much. So Stevenson's more of a low-end RB2 for me this week.
Yeah, 57% snap rate for Ramondre Stevenson last week, 48% for Damian Harris. So definitely closing the gap there.